the champions! Champions of Europe finally! History made in Istanbul! The treble complete! The greatest story in club history has an ending! And what a final chapter!
Good afternoon, Blues. Here we go. Here we go. Title, Premier League title on the line potentially this afternoon. Manchester City versus Arsenal. What a game this is proposed to be. And I mean, I'm excited. I'm nervous. I've been to the toilet an unbelievable amount of times today. It's been a joke. It's been a joke. Nerves, excitement. I've got mixed feelings about the team news that came out because I was thinking, I was getting notifications today and it was like, Stones is in the squad. I was like, what? Stones is fit. Pep's done a runner on us. He's doing it. He's playing Stones. He's tricked us all. And then he's on the bench and I was like, oh, okay, well, why is he not fit enough to play? If he's on the bench, why isn't he starting? And then it was like, okay, well, Ederson on the bench. And I was like, well, I thought he was fit. And he's not even in the squad. He was training, so I've been all over the place with this team news. Walker seems to be the only consistent injury news that's stayed firm to the first announcement that came out. And I'm happy with the team, considering with what we've got. I was kind of expecting Manuel Akanji to be playing at right back, and I think that's going to be the case. In fact, I'm looking at them training right now. And we've just seen everybody has gone for Gvardiol left back, Nathan Ake centre back. Now they were just doing it. I'm on my screen in front of me right now. They were just doing a little warm up there, and the four defenders were in line with Ake left back and Gvardiol centre back, which could mean we could see Josko Gvardiol playing his first game in the traditional centre back role, his favourite role probably, the role he's most familiar with, considering his time at RB Leipzig. But either way, they're both going to have to look after Saka at some point. Saka's going to be coming inside at some point, and whether if he beats Nathan Ake, then it's over to you. Gvardiol, you've got a job to do today, and if he beats Gvardiol, if he's at left back, then he's got Nathan Ake to beat. So it's going to be a really strong side, I feel like we can do good things against Saka. Hopefully we can keep him quiet. It's the other side of the pitch that worries me a little bit, with Gabriel Jesus likely now playing at left wing. No Trossard, no Martinelli, both on the bench, and their bench is something I want to talk about. Let's get into the team news actually straight away. Straight away, let's talk about team news, because their bench is one thing I wanted to bring to you. But Ortega in goal for Manchester City. Diaz, Gvardiol and Ake as a back three. That's what I've gone for. Akanji's going to be pushing into midfield, I believe, next to Rodri. In front of them, Kovacic and De Bruyne. De Bruyne's back with his 8 goals against Arsenal and 5 assists. The man knows Arsenal like the back of his hand. Bernardo Silva's playing, someone who I thought might be expendable for this game. But you know, Pep, I've got no problems with Bernardo Silva starting this game. I'm glad he's playing in a certain sense, but I imagine he therefore is playing on the left. That's what I've gone for. Foden on the right and Erling Haaland up top. Arsenal, Raya, White, Gabriel, Saliba and Kiwior completes the back 5. In front of them, the 3 of Odegaard, Jorginho and Rice. Then the 3 in front of them, Saka, Havertz, and I'm guessing Jesus is on the left. I can't imagine Havertz drifting anywhere. He has played midfield, Havertz, so he can actually drop a little bit deeper, and maybe we could see something like that. I don't know, but I'm not sure who would play on the left if that's the case. But this Arsenal bench worries me, you know. If there's a tight moment in the game, 70th minute into the game, you know, excuse me, let's say 1-1, 70 minutes in. You've got Smith Rowe, creative. You've got Partey, can come on and control the game. Trossard, Martinelli and Nketiah, they've got goals coming off the bench, and that's something they've not really had in the past, you know. But yeah, it's brilliant. Anyway, good to see you guys in the chat as well. Thank you so much for subscribing lately, by the way. I've just reached 13,000 subscribers. I keep an eye on it, as every good YouTuber should do. Good YouTubers look after their analytics and their metrics and things like that. I try to keep on top of it, but I know I've just passed 13,000 subscribers, so thank you so much. Amazing. I've just seen Aaron pop up there as well. Aaron Borson, good to see you, mate. Should we be quaking in our boots, he asks. A little bit, yeah. A little bit, because Arsenal are bloody on fire, aren't they? Let's have it right. They were top of the league prior to Liverpool beating Brighton, sorry. before this game. Anyone wondering, that finished 2-1. So Liverpool are now top of the league, 3 points ahead of Arsenal and 4 points ahead of Manchester City. So we lose this game, we've got 4 points to catch Liverpool at least, you know, and Arsenal as well, of course. And that makes for a really difficult end of the season. Me personally, I believe we can still win the league even if we lose this game. I still believe that. I don't think it's likely. I think the probability of that happening is next to zero, to be honest, because it's Liverpool and Arsenal. We're not chasing one team, we're chasing two, both who know what they do. Well, Liverpool certainly know what they're doing in this stage of the season. Arsenal have shown signs this season that they didn't really show last season. A little bit of solidity, a little bit of structure. So my beliefs are still there. Where if we were to go and lose this game, that we can still go and win the league. But it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Appreciate that. The Creator 17, yep, 13,000 subscribers, mate. Yeah, buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. And it was Aaron's brother, Stefan, who got me a lot of the way. Mate, that video got me nearly like 1,000 subscribers, mate. It absolutely blew up. Talking to Stefan Borson was an absolute winner. So really appreciate that, mate. And to the point where there's a lot of rival fans have jumped on the channel now. I'm sure you've all noticed that as well. There's a lot of non-Manchester City fans commenting. But I want you to all... I'm sure you don't lose sleep at night over this, to be honest. But if you were, don't worry that when I go through the comments now, I try to look for your names. I know who you are. I recognise most names that were here in the early days. You know, I know most of your names. So now, rather than reading every single comment, because there's a lot of them in some of these videos, it's hard to go through them all. I look for names. I look for the people I know, you know, the people I'm interested in, the people who I know are City fans who I care about. So, yeah, thanks for all commenting still and sticking with, even though you're being sort of like, some of the Arsenal videos lately as well, you've been filtered out a little bit with Arsenal fans, haven't you? So, not with me anyway, at least. But anyway, it's good to see you still watching Typical City. Really, really good. But predictions, Blues, what we saying? Shalom said 4-2 City. See that straight away. 4-2 City. What a game that's going to be if it's 4-2. Unbelievable. I'm sticking with 3-1. I said Ruben Diaz is going to score. That was my prediction. Ruben Diaz to get a goal. I feel like a goalkeeper's mistake as well. I feel like there's a goalkeeping mistake in this game. I don't know why. I just feel a bit funny about it. David Raya has been brilliant for Arsenal, I think, over the course of the season, but he nearly cost a goal for us at the Emirates. They got away with murder in that game. Was it Alvarez who closed him down and blocked the shot, and it went... Was that the situation where Alvarez closed him down, but it went just over the bar? And they got away with that. That was like really early into the game. If that goes in 1-0 down, Arsenal being 1-0 down, City 1-0 up, we could have cruised that game, you know, because it was the sort of game where first goal wins. This could be sort of the same. I'm not convinced by David Raya, his distribution. I feel like he's got a mistake in him. I do. I feel like Ramsdale's got even more mistakes in him, to be honest. But Raya's a little bit more trusted. The other end of the pitch, we've got Ortega, whose distribution, for me, comes into question here and there. Shot-stopping ability is better than Edison. So I'm excited as much as I am nervous about Ortega being between the sticks. You know, I'm excited in the sense of like, oh, if there's a moment where we get peppered with shots... You know, if we're being tested, or even one moment, we could talk about one moment where an Arsenal attack results in a shot that's out of nothing, some worldie of a shot, and he can just fingertip it. You know, something that Edison can't quite do. You know, that big frame that's Ortega. He might save us points in this game, but then his distribution, you know, you've got the likes of Saka, Havertz, Gabriel Jesus. Manchester City fans know all too well how much he loves to close down the goalkeeper. He loves to close down a goalkeeper, Gabriel Jesus, and he makes no mistakes in his press. He goes for it, doesn't he? Those three are going to be pressing. Ortega's got to be cool, but not, you know, overly cool. And I am a little bit concerned about any sort of silly passes where we just gift Arsenal possession in our final third, and then all of a sudden we're out of shape, in trouble, Arsenal get a chance. You know, something like that. We can't afford mistakes. It needs to be a near-perfect performance from both sides to come away from this game with points. You know, if we're to draw the game, it's not the end of the world. Ideally, obviously, we'd prefer a win. Statement of the Year award goes to me, challenging Michael Owen on that regards. But still, You know, it's as true as it can get. There is very limited things you can say about the scenario that we're in right now. All the cliches need to be pulled and used. They do, because, you know, it's a game of paramount importance. There is no two ways about it. There's another one. No two ways about it. At the end of the day, there's another one. But come on, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're currently sitting third. There's the league table popped up. 4 points behind. Goal difference is an issue, isn't it, as well? 11 goals behind Arsenal. Just going to dim this screen so you've not got a load of bright things in your face, or my face, rather. But Odegaard and De Bruyne. I thought Odegaard disappeared at the Etihad last season. I thought he was anonymous. And he gave the ball away as well in the second half. I think it was for our third goal, maybe our fourth. I can't remember which. But I remember it was Odegaard giving the ball away, and outside of that giving it away, he was anonymous at the Etihad last season. Those players that Arsenal have this season, we talk about them now, or the press talk about them. They talk about them. Their fans, for one. Mikel Arteta has come out and said, we feel different. We believe. That's a bold thing to say, in my opinion, because if you lose this game, everyone's going to be saying, well, you didn't believe. You've got to win now. You've added pressure by saying that, as far as I'm concerned. I feel like they shouldn't be saying things like that. It's bold, and I mean, fair dues if they actually do believe it. But if that's a bluff, you're going to get found out today. You're going to get found out. So it will be interesting to see if it actually is a bluff. Teams are out. They're in their shape, listening to the Premier League anthem and all that. Good to see you, Marie. How you doing? How's everybody doing? Drop a like on the stream as well if you've just joined. And don't forget to subscribe. I also checked, because I was looking at my analytics the other day, and I also saw that 60% of my viewers aren't subscribed to Typical City, which amazed me, to be honest. When then you think about it, you're like, well, actually, yeah, of course. Because the other day I got 50,000 views on that Stefan Borson video talking about FFP. So yeah, I haven't got 50,000 subscribers. So there has to be a percentage somewhere that's not subscribed. But if you haven't subscribed, you're thinking about it. You've thought about it. I know you have. You'll feel good. Click that button. You'll feel good. You will feel good. I know you're thinking about it. You've been, should I? He's a bit of a twat, but he talks sense, but a bit of a knob as well at the same time. Go on, give him a go. Give it a go. What's the worst that could happen? You know? That's the best sales pitch you're going to get from me, to be honest. Subscribe now, says Section 20. Appreciate that, mate. Good to see you, Ben, as well. De Bruyne's going to score. De Bruyne used as an emoji. Where's Jeff? He puts my mind at rest. Where is he? Is Jeff in the chat? I haven't seen him. There he is. City 3, Arsenal 1. Will go down 1-0. Oh, Jeff. I said you put my mind at rest, and you've done the complete opposite. Jeff. 1-0 down. I can't handle it, mate. Then come back 3-1. That's better. Just like Jesus on the third day. Yeah. Happy Easter, everybody. I hope you all got the... What the fuck do Easter eggs have to do with anything? I'm sure there's going to someone correct me. Isn't it like the Christ... My mum's got like eggs in her kitchen that are painted red, like for the blood of Christ. And it was like, that's like pretty dark, isn't it? That's like, you've got some bloody eggs in your kitchen. That's pretty grim, to be honest. Even whether it's true or not, but bloody hell. It's quite a dark image you've painted there, mother. But Easter egg was to do with the shape of boulder in front of Jesus' tomb. Is that right, Big M? An egg. Wow. Egg. An egg-shaped boulder. Did not know that. Also got different beers today. Brewdog, I'm sure everyone's seen that. Brewdog. Sick of Hobgoblin. To be honest, I got bored of it, so I went and got some Brewdog. Pep and Arteta giving a big hug. Big hugs. Will the student become the master today? Hopefully not. Hopefully the master stays the master. But, unbelievable. Where's the bloody... Oh, there they are. The Arsenal team are in a big huddle. The camera went to the halfway line camera like it always does, and there was no Arsenal team. They were all like off camera, having a little mini team talk before the game. But kickoff is about to happen. Jorginho looks to be the man standing above the ball. Come on, Blues! Lots of clapping from Arsenal. I'm feeling the nerves in this place. They all look a bit tetchy. And the game's underway. Here we go. Come on, City. Come on, City. Long ball up from Raya. Brought down by Jorginho. Anthony Taylor. I saw you in the chat, mate. You're up there somewhere. Where are you, mate? And I'm not talking about you, actually, but I did see... And there you are. 3-1 Anthony Taylor. That's what he's gone for. But Anthony Taylor on the pitch... you could be the same guy. It could be the same guy. Maybe he's got like a little phone in his pocket while he's playing. While he's refereeing the game. Like, what's Typical City saying? Like, oh, he's keeping an eye on Typical City. He could be one of the 13,000 subscribers. He could be. He could be. James with the super chat. I really appreciate that, mate. With 20, I really appreciate that. To a great win, James. Come on, City. Oh, mate, I hope that's the case, James. Hope that's the case. And Jeff's followed up with a super chat of his own as well. Appreciate that, Jeff. This has been such a fun season watching along with you all this season. So many fun memories and been a pleasure to get to know so many of you. Here we go. City, City, City. Happy Easter. Love it, Jeff. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you so much, Jeff and James. Really good of you. So Gvardiol is left back, just to be clear to you. So it does look like I was wrong. And Nathan Ake is tucked inside. It's risky. I'm wondering what Saka's going to do against Gvardiol. Or is Gvardiol going to be pushed forward? This is interesting. Kovacic plays it through the lines into De Bruyne. Keeps it under his spell. Foden's now got it. And he sends Haaland away. Surely he's offside. Surely. His flag stays down. Haaland's in the penalty. It's a penalty, referee. It has to be a penalty. Unless it's offside, which it is. Calm down, everybody. Calm down, everybody. No, it was offside. It looked offside from the get-go, to be honest. But if it wasn't offside, that was a penalty. Because Harland was fed through in the outside, left side channel by Phil Foden. Harland breaks away into the penalty area. And he was brought down by, I think it was Gabriel. But it was offside. Oh, Khaled, thank you so much for the super chat, mate. Really appreciate that. Go City. You're always popping up with your super chats, Khaled. You're a top man. Really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Akanji coming forward, pushing Gabriel Jesus' attempted challenge. Bernardo Silva is on the right, by the way. Right wing, Bernardo Silva. So, oh, he's skinned him. He skinned Kiwior. Gabriel Jesus has brought him down. That's a foul, referee. And got to be a yellow, surely. Come on, ref. Rodri's asking for a yellow. That's got to be a yellow. The hair in my ears are growing, you know. It's age, man. I can feel them like wafting about. It's not good. It's not good at all. Happy Easter, everybody. There's a bit of information you desperately needed. 3 minutes in. Come on, City. Free kick. Getting old does suck, section 2. I'm 35, mate. I don't want to be feeling ear hairs. Do you know what I mean? We're going to be like wafting in the wind. I'm going to have to start cutting them. What the fuck? Can't be arsed with that. Come on, City. This is a dangerous place. Nothing better than watching Jonny swear on Easter. Am I meant to be... Sorry, yeah. This isn't church, mate. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to let loose. And it's Arsenal. And it's a title-challenging game. So it's a few swear words might pop out, Robert. Apologies for anyone who's offended. Kevin De Bruyne's free kick incoming. This is dangerous for City. Whipped in. Back post. And it's cleared by Ben White. But some player went down. I think it was Jorginho. Went down. City with a strong start to the game so far. De Bruyne was looking for Erling Haaland at the back post. That's good. Cheers, Robert. Come on, Blues. Imagine if we win this. It just feels like the whole narrative is built around Arsenal winning. Every one I've heard is like, it's Arsenal. This is Arsenal's time. Corner comes in, and it's cleared by Gabriel Jesus. And any City player chasing that, yeah. Gvardiol bursting down the right wing. Lovely. Beats Gabriel Jesus onto his right foot. Dinks it. And it's cleared by Ben White, edge of the area. Foden onto his chest. He's going backwards, though. Back to Kovacic. Almost back to the halfway line now. Ruben Diaz. Over the halfway line now. We've had to retreat a little bit, but we've kept the ball. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't it feel like the narrative is like, oh, what a ball from Kovacic that was. breaking the lines. I'm loving that little cameo we've seen for 5 minutes. De Bruyne has given it away. Well, it's sort of combination of De Bruyne and Phil Foden. I think Foden thought that pass was for someone else and he left it, but it was for him. But luckily, we've got the ball back. EPW, Arsenal are dangerous at home. Well, thankfully, we're at home because this is the Etihad. 38 games undefeated at the Etihad. 5 draws. And we've scored in our last 57 games in a row. There's a piece of paper on the pitch just floating about. Wonder if there's any instructions on it from either Pep or Mikel. Looks like Rodri's got that job of dropping into centre-back a little bit. He's dropped really deep, you know. Harland is giving away a free kick. Someone stayed down. Arsenal taking it quickly, though. Odegaard now. Now it's Arsenal's time. 5 minutes, 6 minutes in. Odegaard. Got to keep him quiet. We've got to keep him quiet today. Good to see you, Letty, as well. Hope you're doing well. I saw you asking for the likes early doors, mate. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Kovacic back to Ortega, who's not been tested at all yet, which is great news. Great news. Slow with it, though. No press on him, which is good. This is great. This is great news. They're not pressing Ortega, so my concern has been nullified. They obviously don't want to press. They know what we can do if we do break the lines. You know, if they press the goalkeeper, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous game to play. But I feel like it's a decision. Hang on a minute. Arsenal coming forward. Ben White's dinked it. Back post it. Oh, Akanji's lost it. Oh, Gabriel Jesus has put it wide. He brought it down. He dinked it. It was Ben White's cross. Akanji was going backwards looking to get some sort of touch on it. He doesn't. He goes over his head. Gabriel Jesus was waiting, brings it down on his chest, and he pokes it wide of the post. And to be honest, Gabriel Jesus has got to do better there. Really. Almost parallel to the penalty spot, but a little bit further away from the back post. I hope you're right, Robert. Cheers, EPW. Yeah, Ade, completely agree, mate. An early goal would be lovely. Should have your treble winners medal on, Jonny. Shall I get it? Yeah, I might get it. It's not. I have to pin it up sometimes, though. There we go. Didn't think it was that accessible, did you? I'm sure you've seen it on the wall before, but now there's like a little. This little thing is blocking it. There we go. Feels good putting it on. Do you know what I mean? It's like, feels good. You know what I mean? You feel like bigger than you actually are. Do you know what I mean? I was a nobody before I put this on. Now I'm a treble winner. Even though I did absolutely nothing to help the team win, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. It's covering the oil club, though, a little bit, isn't it? So there's multiple messages. Get my words out. I was trying to say Gvardiol, but I went Gvardiol was looking like he was struggling then. It was like 3 Arsenal players all piled on him. Luckily, it's a free kick to City, though, so danger is gone. But I would be targeting that side of the pitch for me. Nathan Ake is not going to be one-on-one with Saka, which is a one-on-one I'm much happier with. Gvardiol versus Saka is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Fuck's this medal doing now? Foden nearly got caught on it there as well. Stupid, this medal. It doesn't sit properly. Sometimes I have to pin it up, you know, to make it work. Oh, dodgy ball from Raya. Header by Rodri, but it's Arsenal are getting players back, though. Little opportunity for City still. Gone down the line to De Bruyne. De Bruyne, it's going to be collected by David Raya. There you go. That's what I was talking about. He's not convincing, David Raya, in my opinion. That's it. They have gone long a couple of times, haven't they? There's already, there you go, another one going long, but it's won by Kovacic. Saka into the feet of Odegaard. Diaz wins the ball. Yeah, I was going to say Anthony Taylor refereeing this game. Why is Michael Oliver not refereeing this game? Has Michael Oliver refereed a game this? Because I feel like he's our best referee in the Premier League. Someone's going to disagree. I'm sure someone has seen Michael Oliver have a bad game. I mean, I feel like he's our best referee. Why is he not refereeing this game, Michael Oliver? I feel like he is. Anthony Taylor's got a mistake in him, man. He makes stupid things. And I don't want this game to be decided by something stupid like a refereeing decision or a lucky deflection like from an Arsenal goal. I wouldn't mind we get a deflected goal because then we can call it even. But in terms of like the game, I want it to be won by footballing merit. Do you know what I mean? None of this... Akanji's miles offside, but we'll take the throw in though because it was deflected off Gabriel Jesus. He is low fat, mo fat. Anthony Taylor's from your neck of the woods, Altrincham. He is, which is a lot of Arsenal fans might be highlighting the fact that he's a northern lad. He's from Altrincham, which, if anyone is wondering where Altrincham is, it's pretty much next door to Manchester, virtually. It's, yeah, very, very close to Manchester. A lot of people say he's a Manchester United fan, which isn't good for us, is it? But the Scousers don't like him. The Scousers do not like him at all, purely because of where he lives or where he's from, like you say. Bernardo Silva on the right wing. Akanji's come inside, though, going on the underlap. Rodri out to Kovacic. Kovacic, who's been fantastic on the ball so far. Ade saying we're missing Stones already. It's hard to say yet, mate. Hard to say. But Rodri bursting forward. Good footwork. He's kept the ball, bounced off Harland, but he's Arsenal coming away with it now. Saka with a step over. Foden gets back. Gvardiol picks his pocket and keeps the ball. We've got the ball back now. De Bruyne. It's been good from City so far, I would say. De Bruyne, though, there, he's trying to do too much there. Beating Gabriel Jesus, but he's got Judge. Was it Declan Rice, I think, who nicked it off him? Declan Rice now to Kiwior. Bad touch. He's giving it away. Bernardo Silva with De Bruyne in the middle. De Bruyne's looking for an option and he just gives it away. Again, De Bruyne needs to up his game a little bit. JRX, you agree? You're nervous as well. I saw you say that, mate. I'm nervous, mate. I'm with you. I've got sweaty palms. Sweaty palms. I'm having my tooth out tomorrow, on Tuesday, for anyone who's wondering. And I've got diazepam downstairs because I've got dental anxiety. I'm not a good dentist patient. I shit myself in the chair. Not literally, but feels like I should sometimes. Ruben Diaz with a first-time cross over everybody's head, and Ben White nonchalantly chests it back to David Raya. I've got diazepam downstairs, so I was thinking, like, I'm absolutely shitting myself. Like, JRX, I'm nervous, mate. Shall I take a diazepam for this game? Because I've got a spare one. I mean, it's not ideal getting drugged up for a stream, really, is it? Especially one that was legally prescribed to you for medical reasons. And you're doing it for an Arsenal-Manchester City watch-along. Not a good idea, really. But, oh, God. I don't know whether I'd rather be in the dentist chair right now or watching this game. I'm definitely watching this game. Definitely watching this game. Because I've got to have a tooth out, a wisdom tooth at the back. Not good. You'll be wasted mixing it with beer. Yeah, I know, mate. It's not ideal. Ball whipped in. Ortega. It was Ben White again, who's posing a bit of a threat coming down that right-hand side. As much as I can't stand Ben White, I hate him. I don't like his personality at all. I can see what type of person he is from the very small glimpses of personality that we're given an insight into. I'm not a fan of him at all. Like the things he's done on, spoke about though. Apparently he doesn't like football as well, which he just seems like an odd guy. Like he doesn't watch football. City knocking it about casually at the back there, but Kovacic sprays one out to Ruben Diaz. But one thing I will say about Ben White, he's a brilliant player. He's a brilliant player. He's so lethal going forward as well, defensively sound. In the space of 2 minutes, we've just seen him chest one back to David Raya, as composed as you could possibly be as a defender in this game like this. And then he's gone up the other end and whipped one in. Gvardiol's coming forward though. He's put Saka on his arse, nearly on his arse anyway. And Saka gets the block, corner ball to Manchester City. Gvardiol had him beaten, to be honest, with a little Cruyff turn, beating Saka. Saka slips, nearly falls on his arse. Gvardiol has the opportunity to whip it with his right, doesn't fancy it, didn't fancy it, so he cuts back onto his left. Saka was waiting there. You've just beaten him, mate. You don't need to beat him again. And then Saka gets the block, corner ball. Come on, City. This one's dangerous. De Bruyne, near post. Over everybody. Oh, Nathan Ake into the hands of David Raya. Oh. I'm not sure what happened there. It's a great ball in. Oh, hang on a minute. It was a little handball in there. Ooh, don't know about that. No, probably not. But Nathan Ake there, on the almost central to the goal, on the edge of the 6-yard box, doesn't even need to jump. The De Bruyne ball comes in over a cluster of Arsenal and City players. And Nathan Ake's just like waiting there for that ball. It clips him on the head and goes straight into the hands of David Raya. So far, City have got the best of this. 15 minutes in, how quick has that gone? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We need to see a big performance from Gvardiol today. Foden, he's giving it away. Just a pass out of nothing, really. Ball was fed into him by Gvardiol, and then Foden's just passed it out for a corner, about nearly 25 yards out from goal. He's just looking for Nathan Ake, but nowhere near. Well off with that pass. Foden's done a couple of moments from Foden. Needs to sharpen up, in truth. Moment before with Kevin De Bruyne, where he thought the pass was for someone else, and he left it. Rabbit, you should support Manchester City, mate. That's an easy question. Who should you support? Manchester City. Corner ball coming in. Saka gets it in. Going underneath it. Ortega. Massive goalkeeping action, that from Stefan Ortega. His hands were up before everyone else, and he just grabs it and holds it, and then he launches a long throw out to Bernardo Silva down the right-hand side. Bernardo Silva does wisely, though, and he slows it down, slows the game down. Arsenal have got back into shape. Mikel Arteta's applauding the Arsenal team for all getting back as quickly as they did, prevented any counter-attack. Good play all round, really. Good goalkeeping from Stefan Ortega, good from Bernardo Silva to slow it down like that, and good from Arsenal to get back into shape. But the pattern of play is very much in favour of City, where we look to be controlling the game more so than Arsenal. There's still a threat going the other way. They've come forward on numerous occasions now, Arsenal. They've had a corner. There's a couple of crosses coming. So they're not going away anytime soon. We need to get a goal. Make this dominance count. Gvardiol cross, back post. Haaland's underneath it. Gabriel Jesus back there, defending at the back post really well. Gets it back to Akanji, though. Bernardo Silva now. Inside to Rodri. Rodri's looking for options. Kovacic. De Bruyne. All the way back to Nathan Ake. Ruben Diaz on the right with Akanji on the outside of him. Rodri's coming forward. Nearly overran it there, Rodri. But he gets that ball, pokes it to Kovacic. Kovacic turns around. Looking for options. City prodding and probing. Not really showing any lack of composure. A lot of patience so far in this build-up from City. Not forcing it, taking our time. Arsenal's shape looks good. Any ball that's come into the box, though, has been dealt with by Arsenal, in truth. Who's winning the Champions League, Premier League and FA Cup? I think we're winning the Champions League, and maybe the Premier League. I don't know, mate. I'm more convinced about the Champions League. Foden. Need to see him play a little bit better. He's the only blip in this Manchester City performance so far. And it's not a bad one. He's given the ball away twice. That's it. So I'm being a bit critical there. But it's notable in a game that has very little mistakes in it so far. Looks like a very high quality football match. It could be a tactical battle in midfield. Rodri dinks one over to Gvardiol. Slips in the process, but it doesn't matter because the ball was pinpoint precision. Back to Kovacic. I'm nervous, mate. Ryan's gone FA Cup and Champions League. Yeah, I tend to agree with you, mate. I'm not... The Premier League is just... I think it depends on this game. Ask me at the end of this game, if we beat Arsenal, I feel like we'll win the Premier League. I feel like we've got a really good chance. But even then, it's like... There's no way all three teams... Liverpool, Arsenal and City. There's no way all three teams are going to win all their games available after this game, because this is the last game where either three of those teams play each other. This is the last fixture of that type of game. So after this, we're going, Liverpool, Arsenal and City, we're going up against the rest of the Premier League. There is no way that Akanji and Gvardiol's giving it away. There's opportunity here. Saka's breaking away. Gvardiol's getting back with a massive tackle. Wins the ball. Well played, Josko. It was a bit of a dodgy ball from him in truth to begin with, but fair play to him. Gets back and wins with a big outstretched left boot. But you know what I mean? I can't see all three teams winning all their games after this. I feel like there's dropped points. I mean, Liverpool they weren't that convincing against Brighton. And Brighton, by the way, they've got a big role to play in this title race, haven't they? You know, Arsenal next weekend. The Brighton that played in that first half against Liverpool at Anfield today, that was... I don't want to play that Brighton. That was Brighton of old. Like, lately, they've been a bit hit and miss, you know. The Zerbi's had some crazy performances. They got battered, like, was it 5-0 or 6-0? I can't remember the scoreline. They got battered by Villa earlier this season. There's been a couple of scorelines this season where you're like, what is going on with Brighton? But today, at Anfield, I was impressed. I really was, and I'm worried. Hang on a minute. Foden's giving it away again. What's happening, Phil? What are we saying today, Phil, mate? You can't be hanging... Get back, mate. I don't want to... Doing all this... Swinging your arms out and doing that at Kevin De Bruyne. No one else is doing that, mate. Get on with the game. You passed it. Third time now, you've given it away. Don't be blaming other people. Get on with the game, Phil. Sure, you get your head in the game, mate. Successful passes in the final third. Manchester City, 58. Arsenal, 5. So, very much dominant performance from City so far. Got to make it count though. Rodri fires a long ball over everybody's head, and that's going to trickle out for a goal kick. Zani's Spurs. Yep, Spurs can decide. Do they play Liverpool? I don't think Spurs play Liverpool, do they? Correct me if I'm wrong. I know Brighton, we've got to play Brighton. Brighton also play Arsenal. They can decide it. I know we play Spurs and I know Arsenal play Spurs. I can't remember if Liverpool plays Spurs or not, though. Again, Spurs, Brighton, they're teams that just like, you don't know what you're going to get. Those two teams in particular, on their day, can beat anyone in the Premier League, including us, on their day. You just don't know. They're very hit and miss, those two teams. They're very lacking in consistency, aren't they? Foden now. Come on, mate. There you go. Simple ball. Back to Kovacic. Do they? Low fat. Liverpool play Spurs. So there you go, Zannies. You're right. Liverpool also play Spurs. No way. So Spurs and Brighton. And Spurs, obviously, like, they hate Arsenal. I mean, again, number 2 statement of the decade. So you're wondering if Spurs will... Do you remember when we went to Goodison Park a couple of years ago? More than a couple of years ago. It was about maybe 5... Before Pep. It was when Edin Dzeko was playing in the white kit with a blue, navy blue and sky blue stripe going down it. Their fans were like, hang on a minute, De Bruyne to the byline, gets it in, and it's cleared. This ball into the box is being dealt with by Arsenal really easily. We've got to find a better cross into the ball than this, because it's nowhere near Erling Haaland. Rodri steps in and wins it back. But I remember going to Goodison Park in that season. Obviously, we were facing Liverpool as well. That was the point about that fixture, was how much they wanted us to beat them, because they didn't want Liverpool to win the league. And their fans were almost like rolling over a little bit and celebrating when we scored against their team. Akanji, and another cross is blocked. Kiwior gets it cleared. Not cleared though properly, because it's just all one-way traffic so far. Manchester City dominating the football. And could we see something like that? We saw at Goodison Park where Spurs are just like, come on, beat us. Beat us. Gvardiol brings down a lovely ball. Is he onside? He is. He's been forced away from goal by Ben White. Doesn't fancy taking him on. Foden now. Back to Kovacic. Inside to Nathan Ake. I'm loving this performance from Kovacic so far. I need to keep this consistency. De Bruyne is definitely a free spirit in this game. He's been popping up everywhere. Rodri now onto his left foot. He's overran it again. Rodri's been brought down as well. And here come Arsenal. 2-on-3 though. Kovacic has got Odegaard. And now he's sent Havertz away 1-on-1 with Nathan Ake. Gabriel Jesus joins the attack. Saka's gone back post. Kai Havertz is in. Stefan Ortega comes out. And he gets the ball and he's going to win a free kick as well. Kai Havertz has flattened. Well, he's not flattened him, but he's gone in with his studs on Ortega. Had to go for that, to be honest. He has to go for it. As As a City fan, obviously you're crying for a free kick there, aren't you? But in reality, it's like you want your centre forward to be going for that, don't you? Does he pull his... Yeah, he doesn't. He tried to pull his studs away a little bit at the end there. Ortega's all right. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that, Ryan. What have you spotted, mate? Have I missed something? Is Ake injured? Oh, fucking hell. That's huge. That's huge. Nathan Ake's gone down. Rico Lewis is coming on. That's huge. That's a blow. That's a massive blow. Rabbit getting a bit giddy. I can see people wiping everything you said. Rabbit, mate. If you don't know who to support, mate, you've already started off on the wrong foot here, haven't you, mate? This is a City channel, mate. 3 at the back. Move Rico into midfield. I feel like it's a Kanji now being pushed into the middle. I feel like we might have a more traditional back 4 now. Kovacic sits down. Saka, lovely from Kovacic in an incredibly risky place to do it, to be honest. Kevin De Bruyne is going to win that. He's won that ball, but there's no options for him. That's a foul, referee. Gabriel's just flattened Kevin De Bruyne there. It's a big foul as well, you know. He steps in. He was never going to win it. The City fans go wild in anger. He just absolutely scythed him down, mate. That's an absolute yellow card, mate. Anthony Taylor. He's already dished one out, hasn't he? Who's been booked? I'm sure there's been an Arsenal player booked. Who was it? Can't remember who it was. I'm sure there's been a yellow card. Another yellow card. Bernardo Silva's asking for a free kick. Well, he's got the free kick. He tried to knock it round the corner. On the inside corner. Goes round the other way. A lovely bit of skill, or attempted skill, from Bernardo Silva. And it's Kiwior. He's just body checked him, mate. He's just body checked him. So Rico Lewis is on the pitch. What's he going to do now? Is he going to be right back traditionally, or is he going to be the inverted player with a Kanji, Diaz, Gvardiol, Rico Lewis as right back that pushes into midfield? Yeah. Possibly. Ball whipped in. It's cleared again. Frustrating. Rabbit's gone back down his hole. Fucking hell. My little girl, man, does the smelliest shits in the world. I'm not going to lie. Like, the landing outside there was just horrific. Horrific. And it's coming in. It's seeping in through the door, man. I can smell it, man. It's not good at all. Baby poo. It's the worst smell in the world, man. She's only like 10 months old, so I'll play this back to her when she's old enough to remember. Daddy went live and told everybody how smelly your poos are. What a nice daddy you've got. Sorry, Chloe. But Arsenal now growing in this game, in truth, to be honest. This game's become a little bit bitty, a little bit broken up. Free kicks, the fluidity of the game, the injury to Ake. You know, I'm not enjoying the game anymore. That first 20 minutes, I felt like we were dictating it. Arsenal have got the ball right now and they're knocking it around at the back. They've weathered that first 20-minute storm from City. And now are they going to come back with a storm of their own? But no real attacking threat from Arsenal yet, but you're just waiting for them to pick their moments. David Raya has fed that ball to Saka. And Rodri steps in and intercepts really well there. Rodri's having a great game so far, apart from one moment where he overran it and caused a counter-attack. Long ball over the top. Surely that's Ortega's. It is. I can't believe Nathan Ake's gone off. That is a massive blow. A massive blow. Rodri bringing it forward. Gvardiol, lovely. Ball composed into De Bruyne with space. Thinking about what to do, De Bruyne, and he skips past his midfielder and he tries to feed Phil Foden. Phil Foden was a poor ball from De Bruyne, to be honest, but Foden slips. Not the greatest afternoon, and here comes Ben White marauding down that right-hand side, and he's cut it inside to Odegaard, who's got ample amount of space there. Back out to Ben White, crossed in, back post over everybody. It's Kiwior, knocks it back to Gabriel Jesus, who's on the edge of the area. Is he going to beat Bernardo Silva? He's cut it, and he's put it wide of the post. Gabriel Jesus, first major chance for Arsenal, that, to be honest. First proper sighting of goal, really. Other than, to be honest, that one in the first 10 minutes from Jesus as well, but he's the main threat so far. Not the man we want to be seeing putting it in the back of the net. A former Manchester City man. He is that sort of player, though, isn't he, Jesus? You give him 5 or 6 chances, yeah, he'll score eventually. He will. He's not that bad. In front of goal, though, you know, he's in this sort of game where you give him 1 or 2 chances. Jesus can't be trusted. He can't be trusted. He's already missed the target twice in opportunities. There you go. Ortega's just booted it out for a throw-in. That's the problem. That's the problem with Stefan Ortega right there. He's just booted it out for a throw-in. Well, I don't even know who he was aiming for then. Problem. Ooh, 96 likes. Do you reckon we could get to 100 before half-time? 177 watching. Thank you so much for watching, by the way. Yeah, ears are going red, as usual. It's the anxiety. I need to figure it out. Declan Rice hits him in the back. Gvardiol thinking about what to do. Step over. He's getting a bit cocky here. Gvardiol back to Diaz. City keeping the ball. Yeah, you're right, Ade. I think Foden's imperative to this match. And so far, Phil Foden's been a little bit anonymous, but when he's been involved, it's not been great quality from him. A couple of moments where he's just been a bit sloppy. Maybe the nerves are playing a part. Is it just me, or does it feel like Phil Foden plays so much better when De Bruyne is not on the pitch? He doesn't always have bad games. It's not like when De Bruyne plays, Foden's bad. Not always the case at all. But I do feel like in De Bruyne's absence in particular, this season in particular as well, Foden's been immense when De Bruyne has not been there. And, you know, prior seasons as well, when those two were on the pitch, I feel like I could see more from Phil Foden. Now he's on the pitch again, I'd like to see a little bit more quality from him. He's closing down Saliba there. Good play from Foden. As I was saying that, he's closed down Saliba and forced him to kick it out for a throw-in. Section. Yeah, Foden needs to stand up when both are playing. You wonder if it's like I don't need to play as well. I don't think he thinks like that, but, you know, it's like, oh, pressure's off me today because De Bruyne is on the pitch. He'll do something. Is it any of that, or is it like inferiority complex? Like, I'm not as good as De Bruyne. I don't know. There's been games where Foden and De Bruyne has been playing and Foden's been brilliant. It's not like always the case. It's just, you know, something I've noticed a little bit. Rodri being closed down by Odegaard. Get that ball back to Ortega. Kovacic now knocks it back. What are we doing, Blues? Kovacic has given it away. We're in big trouble here. We're in big trouble. Odegaard, Declan Rice. City have got players back. Gabriel Jesus with chance number 3. He's shimmying around. It's coming out to Kai Havertz has brought it down. Kiwior's offside, surely. All the City fans, City players' hands go up. And what did that come from there? What did that come from? Kovacic's giving it away, but there was some silly play before it, to be honest. I feel like Ruben Diaz should have gone straight back to Ortega to begin with. But once he plays it to Kovacic, Kovacic has then got to go back to Ortega, and he sort of just pokes it just like towards our left-back position where no one is, and Odegaard's in. You know, and Ruben Diaz thankfully gets back and slows down the counter-attack from Arsenal, and they didn't make enough of it, to be honest. I haven't seen enough from Arsenal in this game to make me think, you know, they're dominating this game, and like I feel like it's very even right now over the course of the game, and if anything, the last 10-15 minutes, Arsenal have got the better of it, and here they come again. Saka now. with Ruben Diaz to beat and Gvardiol to beat. He gets it to the edge of the area where there's a big pocket of space for Declan Rice. 1-2, Declan Rice, and Rodri steps in. It's not cleared. Odegaard takes it off the toe of Saka and he pokes it over the top, and Ortega comes out and collects it. It's getting a bit tasty out there. It's getting a bit tasty. Sorry, but that Foden take is a miss. He has been immense even when KDB was back. I'm not saying he's been bad the whole time when Kevin De Bruyne has been back. There's been a noticeable, difference in pre-Foden to, pre-De Bruyne to post-De Bruyne return. Just the odd game I'm talking about here and there where it's just, it might not even be anything to do with De Bruyne. It's I might be making stuff up here, but I do feel like there's prior seasons there was definitely a noticeable difference in belief in their own ability. Kevin De Bruyne, he walked onto that pitch like with his head held high. Do you know what I mean? He was a confident man who just knew what his capabilities were. And I feel like Foden's he's very much a confidence-based player, isn't he? If he scored the previous game, he'll try things, and he's so brave, Phil Foden, isn't he? But this game, he's been anonymous. He's been anonymous. But he's offering himself there. He's got a little pocket of space, Foden. Kovacic now needs to dust himself off after that little mistake. Giving it to Odegaard. Ruben Diaz now. Rico Lewis. First touch of the ball, I think, Rico Lewis. He's got a massive game today, hasn't he now, Rico Lewis? What a performance we need from him. Akanji sprays one out to Gvardiol with a nice pocket of space. Lovely touch from Gvardiol. He takes a second touch. Haaland's under it. Oh, and he's nodded it away. It's going to be a goal kick, I think. Looks like a real physical battle at the back post there between Kiwior, Gabriel and Harland. Harland wins the header just, and he's flicked it out for a goal kick to Arsenal. There's no excuses for Arsenal in this game, though, is there? Let's be honest, because they've given it all that. All of the talking has been done now. David Raya's giving it away again to Rodri. Nods it into... that's a foul, referee. We're giving it one. Yeah, he's giving it. Harland sarcastically celebrates because I think he's been fouled about 4 or 5 times, to be honest. But they're going in hard on him. They're going in hard. I mean, that's a stonewall. That's a stonewall yellow card, mate. Declan Rice has just hooked his foot in between the legs of Erling Haaland and intentionally brought him down while Haaland's about to sprint on goal. That's a yellow card. Declan Rice on a yellow card is not a game changer, but it's it's a game effector. It affects the game. He has to think differently. Declan Rice on a yellow card is ideal for City. Free kick in a very central position. De Bruyne's whipped it over everybody, and Akanji's going to keep this in. It goes all the way back to Rico Lewis. That's it, Ryan, mate. They are doubling up on Erling Haaland. It's not unfamiliar. Well, if they're doing that, someone's free. Someone's free. If there's 2 players marking Haaland, someone is free. It's probably Ruben Diaz, unfortunately, but. But here comes Bernardo Silva down the right wing. Cruyff turn, beats Kiwior, but he goes back to beat him. Beats him again, gets it out to Ruben Diaz. Akanji on the right, with De Bruyne further out right. Akanji with another ball into... Oh, and Rodri gets in front of his man, wins the header. Powerful diving header from Rodri. And not only did he win the ball, he's absolutely smashed the cheekbone of Gabriel in the process. Gabriel, who was giving it large, to be honest, to... was it Kevin De Bruyne who flattened before? There's a bit of karma for you, mate. Taking their time here, Arsenal. Bernardo Silva sticking his hands in the air, waiting for a quick. David Raya, he's all over the place. This is what I'm saying. I told you before the game started. I said the goalkeepers, there's problems there. for both sides. More so from Arsenal's point of view so far, to be honest, because David Raya about 3 or 4 times now, he's just played it out. And I think he's slipped every time he's done it as well. Don't know what the groundsmen have been doing at City, but they've been absolute. Oh, and Gvardiol's giving it away. A foul. Ooh, I tell you what. He got caught on the ball there. In my opinion, I'd be fuming if I was an Arsenal fan. They've given it a foul there on Gvardiol. Saka apparently fouled him. I'm not sure about that, to be honest. James, the little signpost. Damn, my count 6 fouls on City players and no card at all. Disgusting. This is how we get injuries too. Well, you're right, mate. I don't know who did get booked. I'm sure there's been a yellow card already, has there not? Am I wrong? I'm sure someone's been booked. Ball comes in over everybody and David Raya keeps it out of the net because that was going in. And he falls to the ground. It was Gvardiol's cross that was a bad one that nearly ended up going into the top corner. And David Raya keeps it out. No yellow cards yet. I'm sure I must be going mad. I'm sure I saw a yellow card. Fair dues. But yeah, you're absolutely right, James. Should be at least one yellow card in this game. Declan Rice is one. There's another one. Christ. Kai Havertz has just been brought down by Rico Lewis. And it's a throw into Arsenal, apparently. Gabriel now. All the way back to David Raya. So far, Liverpool rubbing their hands together, let's be honest. Kiwior wins that ball, and Akanji's nodded it out for a corner ball to Arsenal. 3 minutes before half-time. James asking for a goal before the half. Looks more like Arsenal right now. They've got the corner. Ruben Diaz pointing where everyone should be, getting his defensive shape. Still nursing that injury on his hand, isn't he? He's had that left hand wrapped up for quite some time, hasn't he? And Phil Foden's got his hand wrapped up as well. Both players have got like hand injuries, which is weird. But ball coming in from Declan Rice. It's a good one, but it's cleared by Rodri at the near post. Bernardo Silva pokes it away. Looks like Gabriel's going to keep that in. Saka looking for options. Into Odegaard. Good play from Gvardiol. Pokes it away. Lovely. Oh, it's nearly a good idea from Bernardo Silva. Tried to feed Kevin De Bruyne. But even then, if he brought it down, he was on his own. Kevin De Bruyne. Gotcha. Come on. Come on, Man City. I feel like we got off to a flyer. I felt like the first 20 minutes, really good. Ortega's lovely ball right through the spine of Arsenal's team into Erling Haaland, who controls it beautifully and lays it off. Bernardo Silva knocks it out to Gvardiol, who's had a reasonably good game so far, Gvardiol, in a high, emotionally high game. He's starting to show his quality, Gvardiol. I feel like there's a player that's growing in a Manchester City shirt. He's not had the greatest season. It's not easy to make an impact, playing left back or centre back. You're not writing headlines in those positions. So it's hard to make a name for yourself. Rodri, Foden now, edge of the area. Phil Foden is blocked. Rodri somehow has won the ball. Diaz. Oh, piss off, Anthony Taylor. Not you in the chat, Anthony Taylor. The referee I'm talking about. Odegaard's stayed down though. Yeah, Liverpool must be absolutely buzzing right now. It looks like a draw, this game so far. It feels like 0-0 at half-time feels fair. I don't feel like either team deserves to be in the lead. There you go, 72% possession to City. So we've dominated the ball, but touches in the opposition box, 10 to Arsenal, 4 to City. And they've had more shots as well. So we're controlling the football, but we're not doing enough with it, really. Lovely touch from Josko Gvardiol and Phil Foden are nearly getting caught on it again now, mate. Gvardiol's been forced away from goal. Get rid now, mate. There you go. Gets it back to Ruben Diaz. Drop a like on the stream if you've just joined. And subscribe if you're new. 13,000 passed this morning. Thank you so much, everybody, by the way. Really, really pleased. Oh, yeah, I might have a surprise for you at halftime. I have to dig it out because I think I uploaded it before. I'm not sure if it's working, actually, because I didn't check it this morning. But, hang on a minute. Gvardiol, down the left side, into Foden. Good touch from Foden. Great touch. Lays it off to Rico Lewis. Rico's getting caught on the ball there. Needs to be sharper. Odegaard now. I'm pleased with Gvardiol's performance so far. Piss off, Anthony Taylor. 3 minutes of added time. New bog song. No, section 20. But no new bog song. But I do need a piss. So I will be going for a pee. But an old friend of mine sent me a video of went back. This is like back in when I was like 21, 22 years old. In films, he did a film studies course, and he needed to record somebody in action doing something for his coursework in film studies. This is like over 10 years ago now, and he wanted to record me playing football. And I've dug out the video. Who wants to see me playing a bit of football? At half-time, not long. We're talking like a minute clip of me doing some random skills. You'll have to bear with me, though, because I am a centre-back. Well, a bit of a defensive midfielder. But if you don't want to see it, let me know in the chat. But at half-time, I can play a really silly video of me playing football. On a tennis court as well, which is unusual. Playing football on a tennis court, as you do. But yeah, there's half-time. Right, I do need a pee. I'm going to go for a pee first. Don't go anywhere. Have a chat with Mr. Chair. Come on, City! Come on, City. Oh. What do you make of that half? You know, I'm not sure what to make of it, to be honest. Bit of a damp squib, to be honest. If I'm a neutral watching that, I'm feeling a bit, not that much entertainment, really. Cancelling each other out is a phrase that I think a lot of people might use. But I don't feel like either side deserves to be in the lead. I think we've dominated the ball. I think Arsenal have arguably created the better chances. And calling them a chance is a little bit flattering to Arsenal because I feel like they were more half chances. That one for Gabriel Jesus where he chested it down, going over the head of Akanji, that was the best chance, I'd say, because he was inside the box. He got a clear sight of goal and he puts it wide. The one where he puts it wide with his left foot, he had like 3 or 4 City players in front of him, so I wouldn't call that an out-and-out chance, to be honest. But Timmy, yeah, cagey game so far. Happy with the control. Come on, City. Yeah, I agree, mate. I totally agree. We have the control. We need the chances, though, says Hannah. 100% agree. 100% agree. That's it. We've got it. Kovacic was the man. Anyway, who wants to see the me playing football? I asked. I know Section 20 wanted to. I didn't see anyone else say it, to be honest. But I've put the video in my OBS, so I thought I might as well do it. Who wants to see me being a twat, playing football, doing silly things? You ready? This is me. For a friend of mine, by the way. This isn't me being sad. And, and bear in mind that I am a defender as well. Oh, look at that. Oh, he's doing bits. What's he doing? Oh, what are you saying? Oh, look at that. Look at this. Oh, can we do the can-can? Oh, flip-flap. See you later. Oh, nice flip. Here's me commentating on myself. Oh, a bit of sideways kick-ups. There you go. Oh, take it off, Jonny. Take it off. Look at that. Looking like a sunburnt stick insect. Oh. But has he got the accuracy? All the skills, back garden skills, but can he put it top bins? Yes, he can. Top bins. Oh, that was my mate who sent me that. How was that? That was a bit of that, eh? Yeah, not just talk. I'm walking the walk a little bit. Not bad, eh? I'm not sure I can do half of them skills anymore, to be honest, because that was when I was like 21, to be honest. I was like 21 when I was doing that. But that was all right, wasn't it? It wasn't bad. Not bad. And I mean, like I say, I am a defensive midfielder, so you're not really going to see me doing any of those things in a football match, apart from, well, unless someone puts a bin in the middle of the pitch. But, yeah, everyone seems to be enjoying it. Yeah, that is me, Jeff. It is me. A long time ago. That was me when I was 21. And I used to go on the sunbeds quite a bit as well, like an absolute twat. Not knocking anyone who goes on the sunbeds, but I did. As you could tell, I was incredibly like brown. Wasn't I? I hadn't been on holiday or anything, but yeah, appreciate my mate who sent me that. By the way, I don't know if he's watching or not, but probably not. But Johnny Crouch. Crouch has got skills, Coogan. Good to see you in the chat, by the way. I hope you're doing good. Crouch is so underrated, isn't he? As a player, you know what I mean? Like, I thought he was skills. Yeah, those trousers were something, mate. I used to wear white all the time. I dressed like a cricketer. Playing football, dressed like a cricketer. I used to think white made me look cool, but it was like, don't wear white tracky bottoms, mate. And a white t-shirt, like playing cricket, but also football at the same time. On a tennis court. Dressed like a cricketer, playing football on a tennis court. As you do. That's what I do. So, anyway, it was for a good cause. It was for coursework. It was for a friend's university degree. So, I mean, if I'm the lecturer or whatever you call it, the marker of that, and you got sent that as film studies, I was like, what the fuck is this? Why are you sending me this idiot, this orange stick insect playing football as if this is some ability to capture footage? Terrible. But anyway, back to the real football, not me knocking it about. But Arsenal are they've grown in this game. I'm a bit concerned at how we haven't created too many chances, but I'm really comfortable with the control that we've shown. It just feels like it's on a knife edge, you know, that ability to hit us has grown in the game. I felt like the first 20 minutes, it was like, even when we lost the ball, we were trying things, we were crossing the ball, and it was cleared by whoever, Saliba, Gabriel, Kiwior, whoever was clearing it. Ben White chesting it back to David Raya. When they did get it rid, though, it was landing to Ruben Diaz and to Rodri, and it was just like coming straight back. They weren't getting out. They weren't getting out of their box. And that was great. There was a spell in the game where we were dominating, and it was like, there's no threat going the other way. We're controlling the game. It's a matter of time before we create a clear-cut chance, but that never came. And then after about the 20-minute mark, Arsenal started to come forward a little bit, and it started to be a little bit bitty. I think the Nathan Ake injury has been a huge blow in our ability to certainly defend counter-attacks, because I feel like his positional awareness is just one of the best, if not the best, in the City team, in the City squad. His defensive awareness, Nathan Ake, is just incredible. Him going off the pitch and bringing on Rico Lewis, obviously the defence then shifts over to make space for Rico Lewis, but what he then does in midfield, he's not really had an opportunity to have an impact on the game. And Arsenal have come forward and created some chances. So, speaking of which, cheers, Jazziest. Speaking of which, do you think Doku should come on? Hard to say. Tell your Chelsea fan brother, Joel, it'll get better. It's going to get much worse, Joel. It's going to get so much worse. That's it. I think you're staring relegation firmly in the face, Joel. You've also got some point deductions coming your way as well, so look out for them. Other than that, happy Easter, mate. Have a good one. Yeah, inevitably, football always gets better, Joel. Just to put a spin on it. It always gets better. There is always a brighter day. Even if we lose today, yeah, the title's potentially gone. We'll come back next year and we'll win everything again. That's what we do. You know, but cheers for the super chat, Jeff. Thank you very much. Steve, yeah, Jonny so skillfully plays 3 sports at once. I do play cricket. I did play a bit of tennis when I was younger, but I was never any good at tennis. But I was all right at cricket. I did play to a reasonable standard, county level, Cheshire. And, yeah, it was all right. I just, you know, when you get to 16 years old, and the idea, your choices are, as a 16-year-old lad, cricket or getting pissed and having lots of beer. I was like, ooh, cricket's proper boring, man. It's like proper boring. And it's annoying for my dad. Really wanted me to get into cricket, like seriously, because he said like there's genuine ability there, but like I never enjoyed it. I was good at it, but I just didn't enjoy it, which is a shame. I reckon I could have made it maybe at some decent level as a cricketer, but just didn't enjoy the sport, which is a shame. Football, no chance. Do you know what I mean? The chances of becoming a footballer nowadays, you're talking about 1%. Anyone who's got children in the chat who want their children to be footballers, I'd say think again. Unless they're like incredibly unique. You know, if it should stand out to you. It should be like, wow, that's clear. That child is going to make it or has the ability or the potential to make it. But the idea of sending children now through the aggressive, the factory, the football like mill of grinding out, going to training sessions as a kid, like almost every night at times, depending if you're playing for your local club, if you signed up to a Premier League club like one of the youth academies. And then every week you get a letter. Yeah, you can come next week. Yeah, next week you can come. And then the week after that, you get another letter. Yeah, you're okay. You can play next week. Next week, sorry, you're not good enough. We no longer require your services. You know, tell that to an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, 10-year-old, any age. You know, week in, week out, you're living on the edge. Like, I'm not sure, even though my son likely isn't going to make it as a footballer, I'm not sure I want him to go through the experience of trying to become a footballer, of how brutal it is. And you almost have to give up your education now. Do you know what I mean? You almost have to sacrifice GCSEs and A-levels. Like, forget about A-levels, mate. If you're making it as a footballer, you're only going to get to your GCSE levels. And then you need to sacrifice them. You need to say, see you later. Your education, mate, that needs to be on the back burner. You know, and City do fantastic things, by the way. As a football club, we do operate in a way where we welcome our academy players, and there's a school built into our academy, which is great. But it's like, how can you focus on it when you're thinking about football all day? If football becomes your life, it's your life. And then all of a sudden it's taken from you and you're no longer going to be a professional footballer. You've got no education to fall back on. It's scary. It's scary. From Doors to Doors, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. Really appreciate that for the support. Really good of you, mate. Thank you. Ade, we need to change to get service to Harland. Yeah, there's been limited balls into that box. That's been anything to... There's one header that he got on the end of. that was it wasn't even a threat, was it? But you're right. It's the best pass I've seen to him has come from Ortega in that first half. He sprayed one right down the middle. Harland brought it down. And I mean, it's how we beat Arsenal. It's how we took the lead against Arsenal last season. If you remember that, with that Kevin De Bruyne goal in, what was that, like the first 15 minutes? I think it was a long ball up. It was almost a clearance, to be honest, from John Stones. Harland brings it down and just plays it inside to De Bruyne. And De Bruyne just runs from the halfway line and gets it onto his right foot and just curves it. What a goal that was by De Bruyne to make it 1-0. But that was Haaland's ability to hit him, find him, hit him, hold it up, and then bring in other players into the game. I feel like we've had that much of the ball that we haven't really seen Harland on the halfway line. There hasn't been that space to exploit. When Haaland's been involved, it's been a cross coming into the box, surrounded by 3 or 4 Arsenal players, where the chances of him getting on the end of it are almost zero, because of the cross needs to be absolutely perfect. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. So I agree, the service needs to be improved. Looking at Pep, he's going wild. Pep and Mikel Arteta, I do as well. Hand gestures, it's something I do a lot of, but not to the extent of Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta. They're bloody landing planes, aren't they? Every match, aren't they? They get pretty wild with their gestures. Imagine being on the pitch and looking at that. You look over and you just like, right, you just hear Pep shout, "Oi, oi," and then he's there like doing all these crazy things, and you're like, what the fuck does that mean, Pep? What does any of that mean? What did you just do? Do you know what I mean? Like, Pep's wild, isn't he? I'd be like, mate, just tell us at half-time, mate. Like, I'll understand what you've got to say at half-time. I feel like it's a certain type of human being needs to play for Manchester City, because you need to almost tolerate Pep, because he seems to like be obsessed with football to the extent where he's just like walking down the corridor. You can imagine him just like doing things, like being like, look at him right now, I'm looking at his screen, he's just rubbing his eyebrows and just like being like, he's mad, isn't he? I love him. Like, his brain is so football orientated, isn't it? It's crazy. But yeah, just throwing hand signs, mate. Yeah, some of them are gang signs, maybe. Like, he might be just going, oh, what? Just like, just getting serious gestures from Pep Guardiola. It's a bit of Arsenal versus Manchester City gang warfare going on. Trossard on the bench. I said it at the before the game. They're need to sort that clock out quickly, don't I? There we go. Half time is over. Phil Foden standing above the ball. Second half is about to get underway. Arsenal 0, Manchester City 0. Said that the wrong way round, but never mind. Let's go with it. Let's roll. Foden gets us underway. Come on. Gotcha. Finally. Sorry, mate. Was I boring you at half time? Long ball up. Ortega's fired it to Harland. It's gone out for a throw-in. Tell you what, Brewdog's heavy, innit? Feeling that Brewdog. Bloody shit-faced. Quick throw-in. Bernardo Silva. Bit of a chilled start to the first half, to be honest. Everyone's like, I don't know. Bernardo Silva looked like he just stood on the ball, like right in a very dangerous area of the pitch. Back to the halfway line, though. Ruben Diaz, Akanji. Diaz, Ortega, Rodri. First time football at the back from City's crisp. It's good. No mistakes can be afforded like that from Ortega, who's giving it straight to Gabriel Jesus, who gives it away. Thankfully, got away with that one. But there you go. This is the distribution that worries me from our goalkeeper today. Jorginho gets lucky there. Lovely. Great touch from Phil Foden. Could we see a great second half from Phil Foden? First half wasn't his best. Second half, we need you, Phil. We need you, mate. Bernardo Silva coming forward on that right-hand side. He's got Gabriel Jesus to beat. Kiwior's got involved. Gets it back to Rico Lewis. Lovely spin. Foden lays it off to Rodri. He's coming out to Kovacic. It looks like he's thinking about a shot. He does shoot! Oh, and it's just past the post. Kovacic with an effort. 2 minutes into the second half. David Raya was outstretched. It's lovely football from City. And he's a couple of yards wide in truth. We need another delivery. De Bruyne sorting Arteta out again. Oh, yeah, I remember them. They kicked off on each other, didn't they? I felt like that was, yeah, on the pitch sort of shenanigans. But I feel like they probably shook hands after the game, to be honest. Ortega now, on his left foot. Dinks it to Harland. Gabriel's all over him, mate. Lovely play from Erling Haaland. Hold-up play was fantastic. Long ball over the top. It's going to be David Reyes, and it is. Would you take Mikel Arteta at City? Let's say Pep retired in 2 years and Arteta stays at Arsenal. Would you take Mikel Arteta? No. Section 20. Yes, Ade. I'm not sure, you know. Because he'd have more resources. He's doing what he's doing with Arsenal, and it's not like they've not got any money. They spent 105 bloody million on Declan Rice, let's be honest. But that's money that looks to be reasonably well spent so far. Hard to say that without sounding like an idiot, because it's 105 million, regardless of how good he is. It's 105 bloody million. Like, I know what I'm saying in terms of comparison to the rest of the market. Yeah, Declan Rice and how well he's played, the impact that he's had on Arsenal, 105 million, you know. I still believe, though, that they need to win the league, and then it becomes worth it. That's when they can say, yes, Declan Rice was worth 105 million. But the point being is that Arsenal have not had a shortage of resources. You know, it's not like, you know, it's like some underdog story where they've had a shoestring budget of 50p and they're challenging Manchester City for the title. No, they've spent an absolute fortune. And they've still not won the league. So, at the end of the season, we'll have to wait and see. Steve, defo not. Ryan, maybe 5 years. Abdel says no. Mikel from Girona is the next City manager after Pep, Section 20. Could be, mate. Oh, what's his face? I've forgotten his name now. Leicester manager. Oh, what's his name? Tip of my tongue. Bring back Brian Horton, Steve Blackman. I went to school with Brian Horton's son. There's a bit of information for you. But what's the Leicester manager's name? I've asked that question this season already. I feel like he's a possibility. Arsenal are coming forward here, you know. Gvardiol gets back. Intercepts it. Arsenal want a free kick. They're not getting it. Ruben Diaz looking for a dink to trying to find Haaland. It's a poor one from Ruben Diaz. And Saliba controls it and brings it forward. Formica. He's good. He's from the same mould, isn't he? He's doing really well. Arsenal coming forward. Odegaard into Jorginho. Knocking it about now. Arsenal tried to break the... Nearly spat all over the camera then. Tried to break the lines. Don't know why I needed to gauze everywhere, but I nearly did. Oh, come on, City. Ortega. Fires it into Harland, tries to nod it back, but no one's there. And it's this, there's a lack of cohesion in this. Harland holding the ball up, and there's no one around him. You know, on the rare occasion that he does hold it up, and when he does, he's doing a good job of it, but it's like he nodded it on then. It's like, to who? Mikel Arteta's lost the plot. He's lost the plot. He's having a go at Anthony Taylor for something there. Maybe Alonso's waiting for the City job. Mate, I can't lie, I was buzzing at the news that he doesn't want to join Liverpool. Well, he wants to stay at Bayer Leverkusen. There may come a day where he is the Liverpool manager, but I can't lie, I felt like it was a match made in heaven for Liverpool, you know. Xabi Alonso returning to Liverpool. Saka's in. He's gone across the face of goal, and it's gone across everybody. Ortega's chasing it. He just passes it down the wing. Chilling. Ortega. Rico Lewis with a heavy touch, but that's a foul from Jorginho. Another play on from the referee. Another foul, for fuck's sake, referee. Anthony Taylor, there's about 3 yellow cards in there. Potato Boy, my favourite name in the chat. I don't mind taking a profit and having Alvarez as our main striker. Haaland's letting you down. That's a bold move, mate. That's a bold statement. Haaland's letting you down. He's not hit the heights he did last season. I'll give you that. I just need to... It's hard to turn your back on somebody who scored 52 goals less than 12 months ago. Do you know what I mean? That's the problem for me. That's why it doesn't sit right with me to write him off. I wouldn't write him off at the end of this season. If he doesn't score a goal for the rest of the season, I still wouldn't write him off. You know, I still wouldn't write him off because we've seen what he can do. You know, whether that was the element of surprise, the Premier League just weren't ready. But it's like, was it an element of surprise? Everyone said, apart from Rory Jennings, the only man on the planet who said he's not going to score goals, you know, he's the only... Everyone said he's going to score goals. No one was expecting 52, to be honest, which is ridiculous. But the fact that he did, to me, means he deserves a lot of time. You know, he's got a lot of credit in the bank. That's City's ball. City's ball. Oh, he's giving it to Saka. Handball, is it? City are all over the fucking place here. What are we doing defensively? Gvardiol, sloppy. Rico Lewis has a couple of sloppy moments there, to be honest. And in fairness to the both of them, it was a throw-in to City, but the linesman gave it to Saka, and they gave it away straight away. But I know what you're saying, Potato Boy. He's not been great. Rodri's been caught on the ball now. What are we playing at here? What's this second half turned into all of a sudden? We can't do this. We can't be making mistakes in this level of game. It's so important. Throw in to City, deep in our own half. But yeah, I know what you're saying about Harland. I know what you mean. Saka knocks it over to Harland to chase. De Bruyne has stepped in. He's picked the pocket of Declan Rice. Oh, and it's a great touch from Declan Rice, who gets back and gets a vital toe on it. Declan Rice was sleeping in midfield there, and De Bruyne just swoops in like a shadow out of nowhere. And he nicks it, starts beating Declan Rice, but Declan Rice sprints back and gets a big toe on it to knock it out of the path of De Bruyne. Not many opportunities where you see Declan Rice giving it away like that. Harland and Gabriel are arguing. A lot of talk going on. Harland looks rattled, to be honest. And rattled Harland is not someone... I don't know. Every time I've seen him lose his shit, he's not had a great game. Everton, for example. Last season. Remember that? Godfrey, where he did that face? Where he did that wild face. Like, I feel like when Haaland loses his mind, like gets angry, I don't feel like he's at his best. I think it's the opposite with Jack Grealish, by the way. I feel like when Jack Grealish is angry, he plays really well. I feel like Jack, as a person, is just too chilled. Another ball given away by Gvardiol. We're sloppy here, boys. Really sloppy. Rodri's a couple of giving it away. One given away from Rodri. Gvardiol a couple. Rico Lewis with one. All in the space of about 5 minutes. But here we go. Coming forward now. Rico pings it out to Foden, who's on the left-hand side of the pitch. Gets it back to Josko. Such a tight game this is. I feel like one goal could decide this, you know. Doku to make an impact, Devious, mate. Instead, who do you take off, though? Who are you bringing off for Doku? It's got to be Bernardo Silva, hasn't it, really? And I think he's been playing really well, Bernardo Silva. I didn't put him in my predicted 11. Corner ball to City. De Bruyne trying to poke it down the touchline to Bernardo Silva, but it was clipped off Gabriel, or Kiwior, I think it was. Corner ball to City. Calvin Phillips may be coming back to City. Well, that's not good, is it? He literally is, because he's our player. I can't imagine West Ham want to buy him right now. I feel for the guy, man. He's been an absolute disaster, hasn't he? Corner ball, Foden, whipped in. That's terrible corner. I mean, terrible setup. I mean, the corner wasn't that bad. He needs to beat the first man, and it wasn't a great ball into the box from Foden. But there was no City player anywhere near it. Miscommunication there between the players in the box and the corner taker. It's been a very tight game. I don't think either side of... that's offside, isn't it? Surely, Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, really sloppy. Really sloppy. Phillips going to Girona. Philemon, we need a chaotic player. Possibly, but for who? You know, you might be getting your wish here because there's some players coming back to the dugout. And they're sitting back down though. No, Doku. I wouldn't be surprised if Jack Grealish comes on and that's the opposite of chaos. But what would you do? You know, if you bring on Jack Grealish, it's like for like when it comes to Bernardo Silva on the wing or Jack Grealish on the wing. Both are controlling wingers, you know. They're not explosive. They don't tend to want to beat their fullback, you know. So Jack Grealish for Bernardo Silva to me doesn't make sense because I feel like Bernardo Silva's having a good game. Doku for Bernardo Silva is like, okay, he's bringing something different. I don't know, maybe take Kovacic off and drop Bernardo Silva into Kovacic's position and then play Doku out wide. But Kovacic has brought in a lot of control in this game. Not so much in the second half, but first half, Kovacic was really good, apart from that one mistake. It was a big one as well, but Foden out to Rodri. Fuck, you know. It's looking a bit nervy from City. The passing isn't quite as crisp as it was in the first half. Some of these passes look, they're okay, but some of the players look like they're stretching for it. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't feel quite as comfortable. Bernardo Silva down the right wing, holding that ball up. Oh, lovely. Oh, he's had the ball taken off him, though. It was a good effort, though, from Bernardo Silva. Haaland's got the ball in the area. It's broke to him somehow, but he's played it safe. Gone back to Akanji. Foden on the edge of the area. Rodri now. Left foot shot. It's blocked. Akanji cushions it back to Kovacic. Kovacic, turn around, mate. No one on you. No one's marking you. Thought he was being pressed there, but no one was on him. Gets the ball out to Akanji. Into Foden. Looks for the 1-2 with Harland. Gets it. Foden turns back. Goes back out to Akanji. Free kick on Phil Foden. I mean, I'd rather keep the ball there, to be honest. He didn't wave the advantage, and if you're not going to do that, it should be a yellow. You'd take 1-0, mate. Any win will do. Any win will do. I'd definitely take 1-0. Definitely take 1-0. Free kick to City in a position that's like tempting for Kevin De Bruyne to have a shot, but it would take an absolute worldie to score from here because he looks to be at least 30 yards out from goal. Depends on David Raya's positioning. It's not the easiest one to cross and cause problems either because it's a bit central, but he crosses it and it's cleared. Not completely though. Phil Foden. Back to Rico. De Bruyne now. Cross comes in from the same position and he overhits it. De Bruyne, mate. Not having a great game so far, Kevin. Could see a little bit more from him. Oh, Pep making subs. Big, bold substitutions from Kevin. Not from Kevin. Kevin's not making the substitutions at all. I don't know why I said that. Pep Guardiola is the manager. And he's doing what I said. He's taking off Kovacic and Phil Foden for Doku and Jack Grealish. So surely Bernardo Silva's dropping into midfield and doing that role that I just described, playing in the Kovacic role, which I'm actually quite happy about because Bernardo Silva's had a great game. If he can transfer that quality that is shown on the right wing to the middle of the pitch, we might have more threat because Bernardo Silva's been having a good game so far. He's been solid, he's been composed, and he's kept that ball. He's looked after it really well. If you can do that in the middle of the pitch, great. Now it's over to you, Jack Grealish. You've got to do that same level of quality that Bernardo Silva was doing. And Doku's actually playing on the right in probably his favoured position. But Kevin De Bruyne is breaking away here. He's got Saliba to beat, but he's kept the ball. Kevin De Bruyne, he's done well there. That's a throw into Arsenal, to City somehow. Don't know how that. He's taking it quickly. De Bruyne, and he's trying to find Jeremy Doku. So Doku on the right, Jack Grealish on the left. Kevin stays where he is. Bernardo Silva's surely dropped. I haven't seen the shape yet, but I'm assuming Bernardo Silva's dropped into midfield. Tomiyasu is coming onto the pitch for Arsenal, which I would guess... Is he going to play left back? I wouldn't... If I'm City, I'm very happy that he's taking Ben White off. If he's taking Ben White off, that's great. Cuggan, absolutely going wild with Jack Grealish in the chat. It is good to see Jack back, but we need to see a high-quality performance, you know. What we saw, the last 10 games of the season, last season, Jack Grealish was quality. Really integral player to that final stretch of the season. You know, he's on the pitch right now. Can he do it? Odegaard, sloppy, gives it away to Rico Lewis. Rico looking for options. Help him out, boys. Give him an option. On his own, he's kept the ball. He's still got it. Brilliant from Rico Lewis. Kept the ball really well, composed. Gets it out to Jack Grealish. Grealish with looking for options now. He's slowed the game down. Traditional Jack Grealish signature move. Slowing the game down. But this could be what we need because we've got explosiveness on one side and composure on the other. Dink into Erling Haaland. Haaland tries to shot. First effort from Harland. I wouldn't say a chance. Little dink into Harland. He was almost on the penalty spot. He chests it, brings it down, spins. His shot on the spin is blocked. De Bruyne should have taken that with him. He didn't need to touch it. Rodri fires a lovely ball into Kevin De Bruyne in a pocket of space. De Bruyne probably thought he had a man on his back, but he didn't. If he takes a touch there, he could turn around and get a shot away. Jack Grealish wins the free kick, I presume. I haven't seen the referee, but the camera's stayed on Jack Grealish. God, he's got hairy legs, hasn't he? Proper hairy man, Jack Grealish, isn't he? I'm jealous, mate. Jeff highlighted that earlier this season. My inability to grow proper facial hair. Piss off, Jeff. What did I do? Did I do that? Dink. I am a bit of a hand gesture, man. I think it was Aaron Borson, who was in the chat like a couple of games ago. He asked me to do more hand gestures, like sarcastically, obviously. But I am very much like... Yeah, I don't know why. Haaland's kicking off on pretty much every Arsenal player so far. Free kicks coming in. I'm sticking with what I'm saying, you know. I feel like Ruben Diaz is scoring in this game. I don't know why I feel like Ruben Diaz is going to score, but I've just got a funny feeling. Doku now on the right wing with Gabriel Jesus and Kiwior to beat. He's slowing it down. Gone back. Very Jack Grealish-esque from Doku. Rodri out to Doku. I mean, 65 minutes nearly gone, and I haven't really felt like either side are going to score. This has got, as of now, this has got 0-0 written all over it. Oh, here we go. Thomas Partey's coming onto the pitch. Jorginho's coming off. That worries me. That does worry me. I feel like Partey is a better holding midfielder than Jorginho. I think Jorginho's a little bit overrated. I feel like he's got a mistake in him as well. Kiwior's coming off. So he's gone Tomiyasu left back, which isn't that unfamiliar, but he does prefer being on the right. We saw Tomiyasu last season at the Emirates giving the ball away to Kevin De Bruyne, who lobbed Ramsdale to make it 1-0 at the Emirates. So Tomiyasu, if you fancy turning up with another gift like that, mate, please do. Drop a like on the stream if you've just joined and subscribe if you're new as well. Please do. 167 likes and 187 people watching, so I can't really argue. Do you know what I mean? I feel a bit rude to be asking for likes when there's almost as many likes as there are people watching, so I can't really argue. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Rodri has won a free kick. Gabriel Jesus has brought a second football onto the pitch and not rolled it off properly. And he's got a yellow card, you fucking shitbag. It's exactly what you deserve, mate. You know what you're doing. No, how thick do you think we are? Do you think even Anthony Taylor's not going to fall for that? There's a football on the pitch and Gabriel Jesus walks onto the pitch with a second football, having just come off the pitch, and then he drops it and leaves it for a City player to kick off the pitch. That's time wasting, mate. Anthony Taylor, yellow card. Exactly right. Good decision. So just to confirm, by the way, Bernardo Silva looks like he is doing that Kovacic role, which I'm very happy about. I feel like that's okay. It's not a big problem. Soul King, good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. We haven't lost with this hoodie on yet, by the way. Every time I've wore this hoodie, we've at least drawn. So that's why I've worn it. I've washed it once, by the way, since I got it. And, yeah. Don't know why I told you that, to be honest. Come up with some shit, don't I? Proper bollocks comes out of my mouth every now and again. Part and parcel of typical City. Bollocks. Jack Grealish. Looking for a 1-2. Send him, Yosko, mate. That was on there. Grealish lays it off to Gvardiol and spins Ben White. But Gvardiol thinks, nah, I'm going to keep it. Pep probably approved, to be honest, because we're keeping the football right now. It's good possession-based football from City, but nothing in penetration. There is no creativity so far from either side, really. I mean, I'm talking critically of City there, but I mean, I could say the same about Arsenal. If anything, they've probably edged it in terms of chances. Rico Lewis gets his foot on the ball there and keeps the ball really well and gets a foul off Declan Rice. Doku, lovely ball from Rodri. He's on his own though. There's no one in the box. If Doku beats him, which he does, and he's beating his second man as well, which is great, and then Doku gives it away. But that's not really his fault when there's no one in the fucking box, and he's won it back, Doku. Bernardo Silva on the edge of the box. And he's giving it away. Rodri wins it back now. Bernardo Silva still on the edge of the box. He's giving it away. Rodri. Fucking hell, what are we doing? Jack Grealish. Into Bernardo Silva. There's a chance here if we play our cards right here, boys. So we need a lucky break here. It's bobbling around still in the... We're still in the penalty area. Bernardo Silva. I don't know what... Oh, Yosko brings it down with his chest. Is he going to keep that in? He does. Really well. Oh, Doku. Anurag. It's boring to watch. Are you a neutral, mate? Are you a City fan or are you an Arsenal fan? I mean, if you're a City fan, it's not boring, is it? It's just not end-to-end. It's not chance creation. But I get your point. If you're a neutral, I can imagine you're thinking like... You were expecting goals. You've been sorely disappointed in this game so far. There's a goal in this game, though. There's 20 minutes to go, lads. Come on. And lasses. Gvardiol. Rico. Who's done all right since he's come on, in fairness to the young lad. He's done all right since he's come onto this pitch. I mean, what a job that is. You know, 18-year-old Rico Lewis. Come onto the pitch, mate, against Arsenal for the... title deciding football match all of a sudden as well. It's not like it was planned. They didn't have time to think about it. It was just thrown straight in with Ake's injury. And Ake's injury is just bothering me more than anything. You know, going into future games now without Nathan Ake, that's terrifying. You know, Real Madrid. De Bruyne's ball in. It's cleared. Again, it's that poor ball into the box. I feel like Arsenal are looking to like hit us on the break. They're going to pick their moments, Arsenal. Kind of like fucking United. That game yesterday was a joke. You knew that United weren't going to score, but the new United, this new highly entertaining and very hilarious Manchester United, just, you know, giving Brentford an equaliser back immediately. That's the new United. That's the United that I'm growing quite fond of. I quite like that new United. They're quite entertaining. But they seem like... I don't know if you play FIFA. There's probably people that doesn't play FIFA. But you know when you're like dominating a game on FIFA and there's that script where you just feel like there's a script going to take place and you're passing the ball around and then all of a sudden the opposition get the ball and they play football that is just unstoppable. It's just like bang, 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 pass, goal. Like that. United, that's just United. United are like a FIFA script where they just score like that and they don't deserve it. They haven't played well. They've been getting battered all game and then they get a goal out of nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that's United. United are a FIFA script. Gabriel Jesus has come off the pitch. Trossard on. the point I'm making is I feel like Arsenal are feeling like a little bit like they've not been getting battered in this game, like quite like Brentford battered United, but they've certainly not been, they've certainly not been the better side. Doku, mate, what was that? He had the time to bring it down and touch of a fucking wardrobe, Doku, and then he's been skinned as well by Trossard into Tomiyasu, and Akanji off the foot of Rico Lewis, and it's a corner ball. And Arsenal, they're going to be picking their moments. I feel like this is going to be one of those moments games, where a game is decided by just a freak moment, a moment of quality, just a bit of luck, a refereeing decision. I want it to be like, I wanted this game to be one side proves their worth. Arsenal haven't proved they're better than us yet at all. They've certainly challenged us in this game. And I don't think we've been at our best either. I think corner ball, near post, De Bruyne clears. Arsenal still got the ball. Trossard looking to beat Bernardo Silva. And Demiso, just an awful performance by City. I wouldn't say awful, mate. I don't think we've been awful. I mean, I think you need to pay credit to Arsenal. They are a different team this season. They are better than they were last season. There is no denying that they are a better team, both in quality and in mental capacity. I feel like they're better in both departments. So they're going to be a difficult team to beat, home or away. I do feel like we've edged it like tiny bit. In terms of the ball, having the football at our feet, yeah, City have edged this game, more than edged this game in that regard. But in terms of chances, Arsenal are probably a little bit more. I haven't seen the stats, to be honest, for number of shots and things like that, but I do feel like we've done reasonably well. Jack Grealish giving it away there. Bernardo Silva's got over to help him, and he's won it back. Bernardo Silva going to get his cross in, is he? Yeah, and it's cleared. That's another example of the ball's in. De Bruyne is sloppy, giving it away. Josko was pushed then, wasn't he? No, he's got the ball back though. It's a real janky game, this. It's all over the place. The quality's not really been there from either side. And Undissimo, I know what you're saying. It's not been fantastic from City, but Arsenal haven't been brilliant either, really. A lot of nerves, a lot of cancelling each other out. Good defensive work from both sides. Every cross that's come into the box from City has been defended by Arsenal. There you go. Another one cleared by Tomiyasu at the back post. Doku now, looking to beat Trossard. Dinks it over everybody's head, and that's just a poor... Kevin De Bruyne has won the ball off Saka. He's got... and the ball across the face of goal was there to be won, but no one was in there. Saka was sleeping. Jack Grealish now. Is he going to get the ball to Bernardo Silva? He does. Bernardo Silva to the byline. Cross is blocked. Is it? Corner ball. Steve, they did, mate. Arsenal scored in the 86th minute at the Emirates. Another deflected goal for Arsenal. Yeah, mate. I feel like it's got something like that on this game. It feels like it could be for us. It could go the other way. It feels like that sort of game. It's going to be decided by a stupid moment. Would you take 0-0? Right now, considering the circumstances, corner ball whipped in over... Oh, David Raya spilled it, but he's no one there to poke it in, and he picks it up himself. Oh, Akanji just accidentally knocks it out of David Raya's hands. Don't know what the hell that was there. Anthony Taylor says, no, pick that ball. He tried to take a free kick, David Raya. Would you take... I need a win, Steve. I would definitely would prefer a win, but considering the circumstances right now, how this game has played out, 0-0 is not the end of the world. I know it's pessimistic. I know it's a little bit overly pragmatic. I know there will be fans who'll be like, what's he talking about, mate? We need to win. We need to win. I know we need to win. It's just 0-0. We can live to fight another day. We keep Arsenal and Liverpool, well, Arsenal definitely within very much touching distance, but here comes Arsenal now. Odegaard, his little flicks blocked. Rico Lewis dinks it. Partey nods it back into the danger zone. Rodri's going to get involved. Yes, he does. Big booming header from Rodri. De Bruyne is holding that ball with Thomas Partey on his back. He shrugs him off and De Bruyne is away down the left-hand side of the pitch. He's looking for an option. He cuts it across to Doku. It's got to be a good touch, and it's a shit touch, but he's still got the ball. Doku's left foot, and he's scooped it over everybody, and it's just not good enough, Doku, that, mate. It's not good enough. The ball from De Bruyne was clever. Harland was occupying the thoughts of all the Arsenal defenders. They're all trying to mark him, well, the two players that can, Tomiyasu and Gabriel. They forgot about Doku at the back post, who ghosts into a pocket of space. De Bruyne sees him, feeds it with a lovely ball with his left foot across the face of goal. You're thinking, touch, bang, from Doku, please. One touch, hit. That's all you need. One touch in front of you, then drill it, mate. Touch, goes under his legs, has to turn around, goes and gets the ball. By the time he's done that, the defenders are in your face, mate. Game over. You know, that opportunity's gone. Saka's going off, injured. Martinelli's coming on. Looks like he's holding his hamstring there, Saka, which is Gabriel Martinelli coming onto the pitch, mate. It's not good. Doku does have a weird way of kicking the ball, doesn't he? Do you remember that goal? You know, the Bournemouth game where he got, 4 assists and a goal? Do you remember that goal? Go and watch that goal after the game. It was the weirdest technique ever. He has this ability where his foot like goes underneath the ball and he like sort of like scoops under it and he just like floats it, and he's just done exactly the same then with his left foot. His technique is like very short and sharp, isn't it? Like a real snap. He has no backlift in his leg. He sort of like pokes it. And he very rarely hits the target. It's getting a problem for me. I think he needs to work on his shooting technique. He needs to be better. But I tell you what, he drilled one, didn't he, against, what's-his-face? Pickford in the Belgium-England game. That was a good effort. That was a really good effort. He cut onto his right foot and swooped it in with his right foot. It was a good drilled effort. I like that. Need to see more of that from Doku. Bob and Nunes, Devious, is asking. I don't think he'll bring on both, not at the same time. I'm not sure he'll bring on either in the current circumstances with 12 minutes to go. Martinelli's got the ball. He's going away from goal, though. Back to Saliba. Partey now. Thinks it. Gvardiol, who's been... Oh, Ruben Diaz nearly had... Thought that was a possible penalty. Odegaard. Oh, Gabriel Martinelli with space, and it's blocked. Rodri. Trossard. Been forced away from goal, and it's Rice. Back post. Akanji asking for a goal kick. He said the ball came off Declan Rice, but he's got the corner. It's a corner ball to Arsenal. Fucking hell, Blues. Come on, City. $225 watching. Thank you very much. If you could pop a like on the stream if you've just joined, it really helps. See if we can get to 200 before the end of the game. That'd be amazing. Corner ball. Declan Rice holds his hand in the air. Then whips it in. Oh, Akanji clears it. That was a lethal corner, that was. Another one coming straight back. Jack Grealish this time clears it. Partey with a swing and a miss. Awful. Rodri's header to Harland. He doesn't really bring it. I think this is time for Alvarez now. I think this is time to get Harland off and Alvarez on. I think we need a new threat up front. I don't want to discredit Haaland too much. He's been marked out of the game. He's had a tough game. This will be game number 5 if Haaland goes without scoring, by the way, without a goal. So, as much as I defended him before when it was Potato Boy saying that Haaland is a problem. Ooh, fucking hell. Gvardiol. Oh, he got back up on his feet there. That's a foul. Kai Havertz was clattered there by Gvardiol, but Havertz gets back on his feet really quickly. He is getting limited service, Steve. He is, but it's like Alvarez can do other things. You know, he's getting limited service. Alvarez will come and collect the ball. You know, bring Saliba out of his position. If those two centre-backs are in the habit of marking their centre-forward so tightly, then bring Alvarez on and get them to mark him, and Alvarez drop deep. You know, pull Saliba out of his position. Haaland tried to do it then, and he's worked, actually, because Haaland's in. Haaland's done a 1-2, and he's closed the gap down. Jack Grealish now. Dinks it back post. Doku, mate. He side-footed it. I don't think he was expecting the ball to come his way. It looked like Trossard was at the back post and was going to head it, but then he didn't. And Doku gets an opportunity. It was a lovely little dinked left foot cross from Jack Grealish. And Doku is an awkward height. It was one of those where you can't really chest it, you can't really head it. Anything with your foot, you need some sort of Erling Haaland acrobatics to get anything decent on goal. Soul King, Gvardiola's been so good. Completely agree, mate. I think he's been brilliant. I've been a big critic of him this season as well. Just because I think he's struggling to find his feet, He's been, he's made mistakes. He's struggled this season. But this game, he's been big. He's been big. Do you know what worries me, though, mate? Is he was immense against Burnley at home. And we won that game 3-1, if anyone remembers. The home game against Burnley, and their goal came in like the 92nd minute from an absolutely catastrophic error from Gvardiol. So I would like to see a full 90 minutes plus stoppage time game from Gvardiol without a mistake. But so far, mate, he's been absolutely brilliant. I completely agree. I haven't seen that 90 minutes of trust. That's tick that box, and then I'll be like, right, I want to see it next game, 90 minutes of trust. And then it's like, hang on a minute, I want to see 5-10 games, and then we're talking about seasons of dependability from players. Do you know what I mean? Gvardiol needs to get through 90 minutes and proving a point right now, because he's been making mistakes in games where he's been really good. But so far, mate, spot on. Gvardiol's been brilliant. He really has. Corner ball to City, by the way. It's Gvardiol! It's Erling! Haaland's just absolutely whiffed it, mate. He's absolutely whiffed it. I don't know what he's trying to do. I think he's trying to cut it back to Manuel Akanji. And he's just missed. He completely missed the ball. It was Gvardiol's header. Near post cross comes in from De Bruyne. Gvardiol nods it. Probably aiming for goal. But it's one of those that clips off his head but just spins out, going out for a goal kick beyond the back post. Harland was waiting there. Harland goes down. He tries to cut it back across the face of goal where Akanji was waiting for a tap-in. But Erling Haaland just completely misses the ball, mate. He completely misses the ball. That's a massive... That's the biggest chance of the game, really. I can't think of any moment in the game where either side have looked like that's a goal. This should be a goal. And that was it. That was the moment. Have we blown it? Have we blown our moment right there? Because Arsenal, I feel like they've got another moment in this game. They've got another moment. I'm telling you right now, they're going to get an opportunity, Arsenal. I'm telling you right now. And if they... Oh, fucking hell, Blues. Come on. Is it time for Alvarez? I feel like it is. Do you want to know why? Another point I wanted to tell you as well, in terms of a point being a point, as in a Premier League point, a draw. This will be the first time, if we draw this game, Arsenal have dropped points in 2024. This is the first dropped points. So we're not going up against mugs. Do you know what I mean? I know we're City and we like to win every football match, and it's a habit that's very good for City, and Gvardiol's giving it away there. In a place that's not too bad to give it away, but it was never on that ball. Do you know what I mean? So a point wouldn't be the end of the world, but it's not convinced. I'm not... Oh, fuck! Trossard's in. Akanji's got to get back. It's Trossard. Down the left-hand side. Ortega with a save. Calm it down, Jack. He's slipped. Everyone's fucking slipping. What's the groundsman put on? He's put on fucking baby oil on the pitch. You can fucking forget Oil Club. That's what we are. We're Oil Club. He's got fucking baby oil on the pitch. Why is everyone fucking slipping? Fuck's sake. Doku now coming the other way. The game's exploded into action all of a sudden. Doku cutting onto his left foot. What's he thinking here? I don't know what he's doing. It's like, the City players look at him like they don't know. De Bruyne's ball into the box and it's cleared by Saliba. Is Bernardo Silva going to get onto it? Strong from Bernardo Silva. No, it's strong again from Saliba though, in fairness to him. That's never a foul. Get on with the game. Get on with the game. Anthony Taylor says, get up. Kai Havertz tries it on with Anthony Taylor. Anthony Taylor says, I'm having none of it. He's had a good game, in fairness to Anthony Taylor. Not too bad. A couple of yellow cards that I've liked to have seen, but he's let the game flow to an extent. The fouls, I feel like that were fouls were called. Some that should have been yellows. Other than that, he's not had a clanger. You know what I mean? Rodri now. Dinks it to Bernardo Silva. He's at the back post. Oh, Bernardo, mate. What are we doing here, boys? Come on. It's a corner ball to City, but I'm not sure what we're thinking there. How many corners have we had here, by the way? This has got to be like double figures in corners now. Come on, Blues. Can we steal this? Can we get what I asked for? Ruben Diaz. The Ruben Diaz goal. Ruben Diaz is just wrestling Tomiyasu in the box, mate. I mean, the referee's going to stop the game for that. Yeah, there you go. Stop the game. Before the corner was taken, mind you. So I don't know what Ruben Diaz is thinking. Really, he's not going to get away with that, mate. Trying to take his fucking shirt off. Just leave it, mate. Let the corner come in. Shanti, we're playing Who Wants to Walk the Ball into the Net. Been a couple of opportunities, I agree with you what you're saying, but short corner, De Bruyne, back to him, back post, Haaland's underneath it. Oh, that's a head injury if I've ever seen one. There's been a collision there. Haaland's, yeah, looked like a big head injury. Haaland stayed down there. Saliba's injured. Haaland's injured. Haaland stayed down. God, I need another pee, man. These brew dogs. Pee dogs. That was a major opportunity for Arsenal coming forward the other way. Akanji did really well to slow down Trossard at least. He still managed to get his shot away. Ortega with a save that you fully expect him to make. And it's just one of them. You know, one of them just like you parry it away a little bit. And then the rebound, you're just praying you see a City shirt come into shot. You know, when you see a goalkeeper save it. And then, like, if you're watching on TV at least, you're praying the next figure that enters the shot on the TV is a City shirt. And it was Jack Grealish. But then he fucking slipped. And I was like, no! And then he got back up and it was fine. There was no Arsenal player near him. But just like the panic that it felt like. Jonny Jazz hands. Yeah, mate. Go P now. It's going to get hectic. Potato boy. I could have gone then with this head injury, couldn't I? They're still down, to be honest. I'm going to hang on, mate. I'm going to hang on. I don't want to miss anything. Oh, I've got the bladder of a 4-year-old. Oh. I feel like this is going to be 0-0. I feel like both sides will accept this now. You know, it's like, who's got the bigger balls? Who's got the cojones to step forward and try and win the game? In a game where both sides live to fight another day if we were to draw this game. I agree, Adi, we need to win. I'm not denying the importance of a win. I just feel like, you know, we can still win the title after this game if we were to draw. Alvarez is taking his top off, by the way. Looks like he's going to be coming onto the pitch at some point, at least. The game's getting back under the way. I'm glad I didn't go for a pee. Terrible advice from Potato Boy. Last time I take pissing advice from you. Akanji into Grealish, who tries to nod it, a nodded through ball. And Martinelli's the last player I want to see on that football in this game. Ortega being closed down by Martinelli, and it's a great ball from Josko. Closed down by lovely, composed play. I've thought about that, you know, Steve. But can you imagine if you heard it, just like the pitter-patter of my piss hitting a bucket live on air? No one wants that. No one wants that. Let me ask you a question, though. As a City fan, who do you want to... If we weren't to win the Premier League, who would you rather win the Premier League? Arsenal or Liverpool? I think I know most fans' answers. Ball in from Jack Grealish. Haaland's been brought down. I don't think he's going to get that, to be honest. 5 minutes of added time, by the way. Stoppage time. Can we do it? Can we do it? Doku now. Coming down the right side. Lots of space for Doku. He's coming and his cross is blocked and it's going to be a corner ball. Appreciate that, Marie. You'd prefer Arsenal. Yeah, me too. That's it. Arsenal. Yeah, there you go. Because it feels like it's sort of out of our, you know, geographically, it's out of our neck of the woods. Do you know what I mean? Gabriel and Harland have been at each other at this game, and Gabriel has been in the ears of Erling Haaland all game. It's been frustrating for Harland this game. Really frustrating. Corner ball though, can we nick it? Can we nick it? Harland, Akanji just ducking. It was a ball nodded, I think it was Harland or Diaz who nods it, and Akanji just ducks thinking he's in the way. Mate, you do something there. If you chested that, turned around, you got an opportunity. There is still a goal in this game. Ooh, Adam's gone for Liverpool out of respect for Klopp. You fucking hate Arsenal. I don't really like Arsenal, to be honest, but I hate Liverpool so much more. Grealish is brought down. Ben White fouled him. Oh, and Ben White's fallen over like a sack of shit. Oh, you pathetic little shithouse. Fucking twat. Diaz. The unbelievable ball to Jeremy Doku, who's on the edge of the penalty area. He's now inside the penalty area, looking to do something. He's looking for options. He goes to Kevin De Bruyne, who whips it into the post. It's Erling Haaland at the back post, whose header doesn't come to anything. Tomiyasu's going to clear this, surely. He does. Gets it down the line to Declan Rice, and there's still an opportunity for Arsenal. If Declan Rice can find the right pass, and he does, Arsenal keep the ball, but they're still in their own half. Gabriel goes long. One for Havertz to chase. Akanji now with his back to goal. It needs to be assured, and it's a good pass back to Ortega. Ortega now. Long ball up. 2 minutes to go. Grealish wins his header against Saliba. Bloody hell. Bernardo Silva fouled by Martin Odegaard. Foul in the middle of the pitch. Keep that ball. Slow it down. Fucking hell. 2 minutes to go. Akanji. Gvardiol. Into Rico Lewis. He's been good. He's not been fantastic. He's just done everything you expect an 18-year-old to come on to the middle of a Manchester City midfield as a surprise element to the game. He's been good, man. That's fantastic. I tell you what, Doku, on the other hand, has not been good because he's just given the ball away to Tomiyasu. But Akanji, no, Anthony Taylor is given the foul. It never was a foul. That's the biggest mistake I've seen Anthony Taylor call all game so far, because Akanji just bossed it then, and he's given the ball free kick, but Arsenal have gone backwards with it. With 1 minute and 10 seconds remain, Rico Lewis now. Keep it simple, lads. Draw's better than a loss. Ruben Diaz. Back to Ruben Diaz from Rodri. One little 1-2. Bernardo Silva's come deep to collect it. De Bruyne. 1 minute remains. Is this the final moment? Is this the one? De Bruyne's... Oh, and the ball from Jack Grealish was behind Kevin De Bruyne, and Declan Rice is going to bring it forward. And he's bringing it forward well. And he's knocked it down the line. Martinelli's offside. Please tell me, God, he's offside. Gvardiol's fouled him, surely. It's offside, Lino, surely. Ade, we do need to improve next season. Do you know what's scary about City and the upcoming future of Manchester City? For those that are feeling a little bit pessimistic about the game, is the potential transfer power that we have right now. Because Pep's going to be our manager coming forward in the next few seasons. I said coming forward because I was looking at Bernardo Silva, who is coming forward. It's with Jack Grealish now, though. Man on, Jack! He's had the ball taken off him, but Rodri steps in. Jack holds his hands up and says, sorry, but there's no time for apologies, mate. There's no time for mistakes. As... what's his face? What's he called? Kratos said on God of War, don't be sorry, be better. And there goes the full-time whistle. Fuck me. That's a point that I'll take, to be honest. Anyway, I'm going to finish my point that I was going to talk about the future of Manchester City. Because Ade makes a good point. We need to improve next season. You're absolutely right. We do need to improve. I feel like we've dropped compared to last season's standard, and I think that's coincided with Liverpool and Arsenal upping their game. So we've sort of met in the middle. We've done a little bit of that, and they've done a little bit of that, and we're somewhere like that now. We've got more gears to go through as a side, and I don't feel like a 0-0 result is bad. But from a transfer perspective, when you talk about improving, I do feel like there's more to come. Let's not forget, we were prepared to pay, 90 million for Declan Rice, and we pulled out of that deal. So that 90 million is gone. 2 years ago, we were going to sign Jack Grealish for 100 million and Harry Kane for 100 million. But we pulled out of the Harry Kane deal and still signed Jack Grealish. We were going to sign both. There is a player that City are going to sign for big money. I'm telling you, it's coming now. Combine that with the fact that the transfer policy, the new financial fair play rules that are coming into play with the new 75% of your revenue, and when we've got the third highest revenue in Europe this season with Real Madrid and Bayern just pipping us, but we're still the top of the top. We potentially have 500 or so, there or thereabouts, £1 million transfer kitty. We've got money to spend. So when you talk about needing to improve, this club could go big with something soon. It's kicking off, by the way, on the pitch. Gabriel and Haaland are still at it. It looks like they're saying it in a bit of jest. There you go. There's a hug. There's a hug between the two of them. Pep got in between them and told them to make up after the game. But Haaland, there you go. Hugged and kisses after the game. Thank you for joining me in the Watchalong 0-0. Is that the end of the world? I don't think it is. I'm happy we've not lost. I'm not convinced that we're still going to win the league. I'm certainly not convinced that we've lost the league. More so. I'm more convinced that this league is still very attainable for Manchester City. Timmy, I agree. Settle for that. Unbeaten since the December the 3rd. That's unbelievable when you think about it. And we've just taken the first points off Arsenal. No one's taken points off Arsenal in the Premier League in 2024. We're the first team to do it, so it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Ideally, we would have preferred a better result, you know. I mean, the Arsenal fans are celebrating, you know. I feel like we're more gutted than they are because it's the home advantage that we didn't make the most of. You know, they maintained their goal difference advantage plus the 1 point, of course. But Liverpool will win, potentially, mate. Potentially. Liverpool are definitely in the driving seat now, aren't they? 3 points ahead of both of us. It's going to be interesting. Come and join me for the match reaction after this game. I will be doing it as soon as I can. And thank you so much for joining me in the watch along as well. Drop a like and subscribe as well on your way out. Thanks again, everybody, and see you in the next one. Take care.